What's going on, boys? It's Flaws, and in this video we're going to be talking about the most common mistakes I'm seeing in Counter-Strike 2. Starting off with aim, movement, and positioning. I think a lot of people in lower ranks obviously know that it's a big problem to aim low and while you're peeking around corners, like not really thinking of where the enemies could be. At a little bit higher ranks, people are at least aiming at head height, right? So they'll peek into angles like this. Maybe they're overcommitting to their peaks a little bit, so they'll just kind of swing out, not thinking if anyone could be on left or right side of wider angles. Or they're just kind of running in, not really fully checking different areas. You know, like just going through the motions of how to actually entry into a site. Or if you're on the CT side, just holding from dumb positions where you can't really fall back if you do actually need to reload or pull out some utility or something, right? So those are probably the most common ones I see. But I think the biggest thing you can do to improve your aim in Counter-Strike is always be aiming at head height of the thing you're peeking into. Like even if the person's not exactly there, like they're a little bit off to the side as you're peeking out, it's a lot easier to adjust along this x-axis and not like the y-axis. So if I'm aiming too low, it's a lot harder to make this adjustment to head height, and you'll see a lot of people that like aim low or aim poorly. They'll like adjust and shoot a couple bullets, and it's not even accurate when they actually get to the person's head of where their crosshair should be. So think about that. Also, don't be shooting too early. Like if I'm swinging out and someone's on the far right, make sure I'm snapping to their head and then shooting as close as possible. It doesn't mean like you're just swinging out and, you know, not shooting at all until you one-tap them, but just swing out, be calm with your aim. Don't be like too shaky or agitated when you do see someone and start to like aim poorly. Like just, you've done aim trainings plenty of times. Just, you know, peek out, start the spray on their head, and just start pulling down from there. One more thing I want to talk about with movement is if you guys are like peeking into angles and you're like doing these quick little jiggle peeks just to see like a quick glimpse of where someone could be, that's also a great way to kind of get them to spray back at you. So like if I do a little peek here, I see someone more on the right than I had anticipated when I was peeking into the angle, and they shoot back at me right now. As they're shooting their quick burst, I want to peek right after that, because if they're bursting in this corner, they have to reset their crosshair back up, and you almost want to time it perfectly so that you're taking the fight towards them while they're resetting their spray, right? And that's like a pretty high level thing. So, you know, if you're still working on your aim and peeking different angles and understanding where different angles are that you should be peeking into, then maybe don't worry about that one too much. But that's like a great way to just kind of start to beat higher level players on different aim duels. Like you're not really just trying to see who can one tap first. You're going, peeking out, kind of baiting their spray, and then you're committing to a fight after that, right? So think of that. I think that kind of covers aim, movement, and positioning. When we talk about utility usage, I think it's a common problem in almost every single rank. Sometimes even in pro matches, like utility usage isn't used effectively at all. If you're playing a default on the T side, and you're starting off a round, and the CT smokes this out right here, right? I'll see some players that, you know, think that throwing a flash over is great because, you know, it doesn't, the CT playing in the back of the site doesn't know if that flash is going to be the one that your teammate's coming through the smoke with, right? So let's say you throw that flash and then the CT gets full blind, right? Okay, they're full blind, they re-peek out. Oh, it's still smoked, we're still good. Okay, nothing really came out of that besides the T wasting a flash. I'd much rather have my teammates, unless they were trying to pull more utility, like let's say the smoke's fading and they throw it. That's great because, you know, that smoke's fading, they might think, okay, they were waiting it out, and we throw a molly after that, right? And if you're just trying to bait utility out, that's totally fine. Like if you have a full buy, you have plenty of nades to use in the round. Totally get that, but you gotta be thinking like, could I be using this flash later in the round? Could I use this flash to take deeper CT? Like could my team peek CT, I throw this flash, you know, and we swing towards red room with that? Is that something I want to do in this round? Are we kind of grouped up and trying to hit a site or hit through mid, and we need nades to actually get through these different points, right? Like think about how you're using your utility and what you're actually obtaining with that utility. A lot of the times on CT side too, right? Okay, yep, smoke's fading. Let's see, I guess I'll throw this flash. I'll see stuff like this, right? Okay, yep, nothing, didn't get anything with that. It'd almost be a lot better if we just sat in the back of the site, played something like a little bit safer of an angle. Okay, they start to hit, or something like this. Commit to that like actual fight with the flash. It's a little awkward for the T's. You can throw a little to the left too. Obviously, I'm showing this on, you know, this map, but it doesn't really matter what map you're playing on. There's always those different pop flashes or better uses of utility that you can use that people kind of tend to just waste. even if I'm here on site and I start to see them start to execute, I can throw a flash like this, right? Peek with it. The T's either have to just completely stop their take and slow down and like hide behind walls, or they're being full blinded by that flash and they either have to turn from it, but it makes it so that I have a huge advantage when I'm actually taking this fight. Instead of just, you know, throwing a flash like this, deep pop flash, and yeah, maybe it stalls for like a half a second. It doesn't really matter in the actual terms of the round. I'd much rather have this flash to like peek with it. You can even peek before it pops while the T's are turning. It's just a great way to kind of push the advantage of the gunfight in your favor, which I don't see enough times people use. Like, a lot of the times they'll be totally okay with committing to a fight and taking a 1v1 fight when they do have full utility, right? They have flashes, they have nades. Even if someone's like ramp and they see that, I like to just back up, throw an HE, maybe something like that, maybe a little bit more to the side. But something like this, right? Okay, now you know it's going to be 2 bullets if you hit them nicely with that HE, or you can just spam 3 bullets to their body. And that could be the difference maker in you actually winning or losing that gunfight, right? So always use your utility like effectively. Don't just be blowing it. Also, if you're like taking the site on the T side, don't just like have every single person smoke the same thing. Don't have everyone flash the same thing. Like, call out to your teammate, hey, I'll flash CT. Do you want to push it? Even if they say no, like, no worries. Like, at least then you can start to evaluate like where you're going to be using that flash in the post plant, right? That kind of goes also towards disadvantage rounds. So like, let's say we take the B site. Okay, perfect. We have this site taken. But we know we lost a couple of guys taking the site. We're on low HP. It's like a 2v4, right? A lot of the times you kind of expect a CT to be pushing from you behind. You can expect a CT maybe in cave as well. But you kind of have to start to work towards something in the round. You have to push the advantage that you guys have. If you have any flashes, any nades, if you don't have anything, you have to be working together. 2v1 towards an angle, right? Let's fight CT, right? Okay, we fight CT. If we die from, you know, ramp, someone flying up, doesn't really matter. We probably would have lost the round anyway. Like, go for these fights when they won't expect it on the CT side. Maybe you catch them with the flash out. You can get a free kill there. Okay, now it's maybe your teammate, you know, stays alive with you and it's a 2v2. That's much better than you guys having to worry about 365 degrees of where the CTs can come in at the same time. They can spot you out, right? Okay, we see one CT, we're trying to fight him. He's not peeking because he's waiting for his ramp player to come up. Okay, the ramp player comes up, now the CT guy fights you, and you have to try to fight this angle, maybe cave. Like, always try to push your advantage, try to secure some space in the actual site, in the round, and almost cut the site in half so that they have to retake half of it, right? Same thing goes for the other site. On A. If people are playing in donut and we can't clear them out, you know, we smoke them out fine, we plant the bomb. It might make more sense for us to kind of wait for this player donut to have to wait that smoke out. We'll fight CT together, right? Even if you get this kill CT and your teammate dies, now I only have to worry about one angle. That's much better feeling in the round than if you have to worry about CT, flank, maybe coming out of, you know, this tunnel here, or coming out of donut as well. Like, fight for some angle, fight for some positioning in the round. The CT's, it's going to be really awkward if you push through CT and you're holding the bomb from here, right? Because they probably don't have nades. Even if they have a smoke, right? They can smoke you off, fine. They get on it. You can spam them. You can maybe move up to here. You can play this angle. You have some sort of like space back in the round, right? Always think of that. That's a little bit higher level though. I mean, you'll see people in higher levels not do this. You know, they'll get complacent. They'll plant the bomb. They'll be like just panicking, just trying to hold an angle, trying to win a gunfight. But that's not really how you're going to win like the majority of disadvantage rounds, right? You always have to push through, create some space, create some like safety in like what you have to hold in the round, right? Moving up to the next thing, we're going to talk a little bit about playing with your teammates for angles. Like, if you're entering into the site, right, you might want to boost someone up, right? Maybe you don't know if someone's playing close up. You can boost someone up for that retake. You know, if they're trying to retake back into the site, there's not really a good chance they're going to be clearing like weird spots, like one and done spots. Same thing goes for here. You have your teammate like set up here, just holding this spot. Kind of a one and done, you know, like if they do peek out 2 at a time, it's tough for you to spam them down and actually get to safety after the first kill. But if you have your teammate set up in a position like here, right, they're getting all the information. Once they start to fight someone, then you can peek out. That's like a big thing that people don't do, even in solo queue games and higher levels. Like, if someone's playing ramp on your teammate, like your teammate's playing ramp here, and they're just kind of fighting anyone that runs to site. If you're playing in cave, it doesn't really make sense for you to be taking fights deeper towards here, because if this person does end up taking a fight on you, and even if they damage you but they don't kill you, they're getting info for their teammates of where you're at. Instead, if you play somewhere like a little bit deeper, like here, right, it's hard for the CTs to clear this angle out without it being exposed to ramp as well. So your teammate ramp starts to fight someone, then you can swing out and get that trade on them. Like, that's just pretty simple stuff, but it's honestly huge when you're playing in solo queue games, because it just sets up crossfires that people won't expect. You can get the freest kills of your life just doing this. You don't have to worry about aim too much. You just kind of peek out, aim for the body, spam them down while your teammate's shooting at them, or this person's just jiggling, right? They shoot a couple shots off, just wait. Once you start to go for that fight, then they swing out. And this person that's playing on the retake, trying to retake back in, is having a really tough time deciding who they actually need to take the fight with. So they have to be playing a weird angle. Always think of just little things like that are going to help you in the round to actually secure different fights and put you in a just better spot to win the round altogether, right? Maybe someone's playing on the box here, holding the right side of sight. Your teammate could be playing, I mean, honestly, it could be playing donut, it could be playing back here, holding this, like, this spot right here. Maybe they're playing in here. Okay, you start to take that fight on backside, they drop, they fight with you, right? You always want to be taking fights together with your teammate, right? Too many times people will start to lose these, like, 1vx situations where they're peeking into a guy too many times. That's all the person wants that's in, like, that clutch position, right? They want to be taking these 1v1 fights. They want to be isolating people and killing them without having to worry about, like, a different person shooting at them at the same time, right? So always think of this, like, L shape. Like, one person here shooting across there, one person there shooting across, but you're always trying to make this L on where you think the CTs are going to be retaking into. Same thing goes for the T side. Like, if I'm playing on this box and my teammate's playing on the back of the site, they should be taking first contact. Like, yeah, like, I could be jiggle peeking into this, right? But maybe I get that first kill, and then I'm just kind of waiting for my teammate to take the next contact. Like this. Okay, they start to shoot someone on here. I can swing out. I might swing this left side with them so that I can start to kill these T's with him. I'm not peeking too deep, right? Same thing goes for if I'm here. Okay, I'm playing in donut here. My teammate starts to shoot them coming out right here. Okay, I'm swinging. I'm fighting that angle with them, right? I think you guys get it at this point what I'm trying to get at there, but I hope this helped you guys and just little things on how to get better at the game and little mistakes that I'm sure you're seeing in your games as well. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.